Okay, good morning everybody. How y'all doing? It's Tars down there again, Go Hard to Go Home channel. And I'm here with the next edition of the Bachelor Buzzfeed. Now, in this edition of the Bachelor Buzzfeed, we're going to talk about the two types of women and how to spot them. I'm making this video because, a lot of guys, they out there and they're doing the thing, they're being bachelors or they're, trying to get married or doing their player thing or whatever they're doing. But they think that women come in a bunch of different varieties, and they do in some ways, but they really want to break down to like two different archetypes. And we're going to go over those today. And we're going to talk about how to spot them a little bit. So, without further ado, you know how to do it. I get right into it. Let me go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, this slide. All right, now guys, there are only two base types of women. Okay, and you got your traditional woman, like you got here on the left side of the screen. And you got your professional type woman. Okay, now how'd that break down? Well, I got another slide here. We're going to start breaking that down. Okay, we got character differences in these two types. Okay, the traditional woman is a family-oriented woman. She serves her family. She has reasonable temperament. She pretty much kind of compromises. And she has a lot of feminine energy. Okay? Those are traits of a traditional woman. This is your, I want to be a cook and clean housewife type of female. Okay? And one thing I want to note, I didn't write it down here on the traditional side here, but the traditional woman is looked down upon by the professional one. The professional women here look down upon the traditional women. You're going to hear them talking bad about traditional women. They're way too submissive. They can't think for themselves, stuff like that. So if you hear a professional woman, because we're about to go over that, this is the women at your job and the women who are competing as far as high level careers and stuff, in the men's world. We're gonna go over them in a minute here. They talk bad about traditional women, so that's another trait of traditional women that you can use to spot them. Is that professional women, they're going to call them overly submissive, dumb, just stuff like that. Most guys have already heard it. So it's kind of really no reason to even say anything about it to explain it, but just to add a refresher, okay? Because you've already heard what it is. So that's a traditional type of women. Okay, now you got your professional woman. This woman's job oriented. It's like a man. She serves a job. They got a touchy temperament because they're at work all day like a man. And you might be a little bit temperamental when you get off of work all day because you've been putting up with a bunch of crap. So you got to understand where it comes from. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just it comes from being at work all day. This person dictates. Okay, they don't compromise, but that also comes from working a lot, and being very professional. You can't be a weak person when you're professional if you want to progress in jobs and stuff like that. As guys, we know this. So you gotta kind of understand it when it's coming from their point of view. It's masculine energy with feminine undertones. You know it's a girl. You can see it's a woman. She acts like a woman sometimes, but she's got a lot of masculine energy, which really stems from the other stuff we just talked about. Okay, and also is some of the thing that puts him in a position to talk bad about traditional women because they don't do that submissive like thing what they call submissive. They don't do that. I'm gonna cook, clean, and they like, hey, they dictating. It's not compromising. It's not working with you. It's telling you what to do. To pretty much of a degree. So how does the man choose? Okay. Now it depends on what he wants. All right. Now you got a picture here of a family, and then you got a picture here of a guy with a bunch of women around him. We're about to get into those things right here in the next few slides. Okay. Now, if the man is looking for marriage, traditional women are the way to go. They're the best way to go. These women usually want to be part of a family. Okay? These women usually value family building over career progression. These women usually put more into homemaking skills than into a trade. These are the women that they might not be your lawyers and your doctors and your, whatever else trade, high level trade that a woman has gone into, but these women, they know how to cook. They might not even be a chef, but they know how to cook good at the house. They know about homemaking things. Okay? And they're doing that purposely because their legacy is built in them making a home. That's what you're looking for. If you in marriage, the woman's legacy kind of needs to be built in making a home. We're gonna talk about this a little bit later in the show here. It won't take much longer, so just bear with me here. Now, if the man is just looking to play around, then professional women might be a better deal. Okay? Now, since professional women tend to be more career-driven, forming long-term relationships with them tends to be a little harder. Okay? Because, they at work all day. You can't see them until that night. And what if they might got something important to do the next morning, they can't come that night. You might can't see them until the weekend. I've had that personally myself. You might be a guy who's gotten himself into a retirement type position or such like that, but you can't see your girlfriend until the weekend because she works. See? It was a problem in reverse before women did this professional thing and all the feminism and stuff like that. The problem was in reverse. But now they've got the same problem. It's one of the things they took when they became equal. So, but there's still people, it's just like when guys were at work all day, they still need to be in relationships and socialize, And those relationships, they could be good ones. They just usually don't last long when the job has to be compromised. This is the same thing like this right here, guys. When guys have given up a girl because she was taking up too much of his time, and stuff like you couldn't get work stuff done, or the Joe was coming out on your job and talking smack or calling you at work and stuff like that, and you had to let the person go. It's the same thing in reverse. So think about that and let that one sink in. We'll talk about it a little bit more in other videos. If you got questions, just drop them at the end. So here's the breakdown, guys. You got a traditional woman. That woman wants a family. She will compromise her job for a family. She tends to have a monogamous mindset and she values a family legacy. Her thing is building a family. That is her legacy. The guy's legacy might be, I want to have a junior and make a bunch of money and leave money to kids. This woman wants to be the matriarch of the family. She wants to be grandma that everybody comes to, everybody looks to. She practiced the homemaking skills. She might got some professional skills too now, but they'll be prevalent depending on how she is, but they just won't play out the same way as a professional woman. The professional woman is going to tell you up front it's about her job, it's about, if she's a single mother, she's got her kids, she's going to tell you up front it's like that right there. It don't matter where you're at in the world, no matter what color you are, no matter what race you come from, what ethnic background, this is going to happen. So now, the breakdown of the professional woman is this right here. She wants a family as long as it doesn't hinder career progression. It's the same thing as a man. I have to describe this almost as being a man. That's why I say there's a lot of masculine energy with feminine undertones. Okay, um, you got to understand that this person's on their job thing. Okay, so they will compromise the family for the job because, like a guy might look at it as like, hey, I can't feed the family if I'm not at work. You want me to be at home to spend time with you and the family, but I can't feed the family if I'm not at work. A guy might look at it that way. A professional woman is going to look at this. It's the same. It's about the same thing. Guys should be able to understand this. From this breakdown, let's talk to about this. You should be able to understand how a professional woman is going to be feeling. They tend to have a polyamorous mindset. Okay. Good long-term relationships with several people because of the jobs and stuff like that. It's like a guy who works all the time. And this person values a personal legacy, just like a guy does. He wants his job and stuff to show who he was at the end of life. And the same thing with a professional woman. That's why they get a lot more of the guy traits in them. But, I'm not saying they can't be hung out with. There's still people want to socialize and stuff, but these things right here, you can work your way in there. Okay, now we got a naywalk moment. Not all women are like that. Okay, just a disclaimer. Professional women, like I was just saying, may also have the same deep desire for family that the majority of traditional women have. However, since they place career progression over family, this almost exclusively disqualifies them from long-term monogamous relationships with men. Because men who want monogamy would want a family-oriented woman. That's just in the man's nature. You don't want somebody who will be willing to give up her job to take care of the kids. That's what most guys are gonna want. And so it kind of hurts the other ones as far as long term. Not as a regular dating and like one of the next episodes of the Bachelor Buzzfeed is gonna be about guys living polyamorous. And I was just mentioning polyamory here. And I'm going to mention polyamory a lot because it's already going on. And, you may as well kind of be open with it now. So, we'll talk about that more in other videos. Okay, if you got any questions or any comments or anything about what I was saying, you feel I'm not right, or you might want to elaborate on some things, leave the comments in the section below, and I will get back about those comments and stuff. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal. So if I can hit 1,000 subscribers, that'd be cool. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think. It's been Taurus down there again. Go hard or go home. I'm out of here for right now. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit subscribe and be ready for the next episode of the Bachelor Buzzfeed.